Welcome, everyone, to today's show.
A boomer and a Gen Xer walk into a bar. And we are not being brought to you today at the Rabbit Hole Studio because we're on the road. And as Bobby likes to put it, we're on the rabbit run. And my name is Jane Burt. My co-host is my daughter, Bobbi. And Bobby is in Iowa and I am in Georgia. So we're still coming to you every week, just trying to stay on it. And it's colder than heck down here, Bobby. What's it doing in Iowa?
I doubt that it's as cold down there as it is up here.
You might want to check today's high and low because I think it was as cold, if not colder, down here. It was crazy, man. Crazy.
Oh, I guess we got up to 33 today. We had some sunshine.
Well, anyway, we have a pretty good topic for you today that we're going to do a little reminiscing on because I think we come from two different eras of movies. And we thought we would go ahead and talk about our top 10 list of the funniest movies of all time. What do you think about that topic, Bobby?
That sounds good.
Yeah. So, kind of putting you on the spot because I gave you a little bit of warning, but not very much, that's what the topic was going to be. And I'm going to start out because Dr. Domain and I watched a movie the other night. And it reminded me of one of the funniest movies. And I don't think it got a lot of publicity, but it was called Best in Show. And
that was good.
And it was about the dog shows. And I never laughed so hard in my life. It was funnier than heck. Well, then, just the other night, we're watching another show that is comparable to it, I would say, or kind of along the same theme or, laugh line, I guess, is Cook Off. And it's got Melissa McCarthy and several other people in it. And it was along the same lines and just silly, dry humor that you look at people and somehow that movie depicted what goes on in my mind when I'm looking at certain people and they're talking. And I just want to say, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? So
I remember when Best in Show came out, there was a lot of people who actually thought it was like a documentary movie about what went on during those dog shows and stuff.
Well, I think it kind of was only on the funnier side. I mean, because people get pretty serious about that stuff, right? I mean, national championships, and they travel all over to be, participants in these dog shows. And I don't know how much money is involved in them, but just the prestige of winning, right?
Right.
So it was hilarious for me anyway. And that was an old one. I think that was, what was the date on that one? I don't even remember now.
I think it was early 2000s.
Was it that late? Because I don't know. I thought it was earlier.
I think it was.
Okay. So that would have been on our list for me anyway. And I'm hoping that our listeners are kind of thinking back now and saying, what was the funniest movie? And was it just recently or was it, an old movie that you remember? So, Bobby, what's one of yours?
Well, I'll start with my older movies, and you might be surprised with some of these. So one that would not be made today, that's for sure. But one of my favorite comedies is Blazing Saddles.
Oh my gosh, that was on my list too. That one was so politically incorrect, it wasn't even funny.
Oh, and Mel Brooks, I mean, he's got just, that talent for taking, something
pretty
that's not
subjective,
really funny and making it hilarious. Yeah,
and things that you're absolutely right that back in the day, because I think that one came out. Was that 80s? But
I think it was even earlier than that.
Was it? So I think
74.
74. Holy cow.
1974.
So just thinking back on that one, I just remember watching it and going, oh, they said that, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they, because they hit race, they hit gender, they hit sexuality, they hit religion, they hit everything on that. And you're right, that one was super funny. I really liked that one. Another one that's on my list is, I don't know if you've seen it, Bobby, Anchorman.
Yes, I have seen that. That one's
Will
pretty
Ferrell. And that one was kind of a spoof too, about how serious these people take themselves and, how ridiculous they can sometimes be. And what was interesting too about that one, and I've seen this kind of in, I don't know what you would call them, corporate cliques, is they kind of had their own little posse together, followed each other around and was the butt of somebody's joke, or else they were the stick man for the joke.
Yeah, it was almost like high school, but it's for adults.
Yeah. And then, oh gosh, was it Christina Applegate that played the girlfriend? She did a good job. She did a really good job on that. And she was just as dry, and sometimes it was just so uncomfortable. Just the things they said and the way they acted. It was almost uncomfortable for you to even watch it.
Yeah.
What's another one for you, Bob?
Well, I'll go along the Will Ferrell line, and one of my top ones is actually Step Brothers.
Step Brothers was a good one too. That one was, I was going to look at that and see. When was that done? That was done in 88?
2008. 2008.
2008. Okay. That was pretty funny too. What was the best part of that movie?
Oh man, when they were fighting, every time they would fight, but especially when they were fighting in the front yard. That was funny. That was really funny. Let's see. Dr. Domain. I know he's sitting here. He set his mic aside. He pushed it aside because he didn't want to talk tonight. But we're going to make him talk anyway. Dr. Domain, do you have... Oh, I was looking at Anchorman. Ron Burgundy, 2004. Oh, my goodness. It was just so funny. And there were some good actors in that movie. Christina Applegate as Veronica Corningstone, I think it was. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Dr. Domain, what would be one of the funniest movies of all time that you remember?
There were a lot of them. I would say I'd go with the classics. So probably The Jerk with Steve Martin was a classic.
The Jerk was good.
That was a good one. Yeah. That was pretty funny. Most people listening, I don't know, if you're as old as me and you're a boomer, you probably remember this, but Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, that's one of my top ones too. Yep, 1975.
Gosh. Man, they were so ahead of their time on that movie.
They were.
Because
they were.
A lot of it just went over our heads. It was like, what did that mean exactly? and now you look back on it and you go, oh my gosh, that's crazy how it's almost like they forecasted the future.
Yeah. I mean, that movie's one reason why I won't let the kids get a rabbit. That's for sure.
I don't know if you remember the horses and they had the coconuts. Oops. They had the coconuts where they were making the noise of the horses. Yeah. What's another one for you, Doc?
Oh, I can't really think of any good ones lately. I mean, the things that come to mind aren't movies. Like the old Saturday Night Live skits were funny.
Yeah, the old ones. I agree with that.
I mean, there's a lot of good quotes from movies, but the movies themselves, I just can't think of anything.
Back when Eddie Murphy and some of those guys
Belushi,
were on there. Belushi, yeah. Those were the best ones.
How about Dr. Domain? Did you like the movie Spaceballs?
Oh,
that was a great one.
Yeah, it's a classic.
That's one I never saw.
Yeah.
What?
Never
saw Spaceballs.
Yeah, you mentioned Blazing Saddles too. I think Mel Brooks is a genius when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe you've never seen Spaceballs.
Yeah, that's
I
funny.
don't recall that movie at all. But you guys are good at remembering scenes and what was said and who was in them. And my whole brain is nothing but junk in and junk out because it's like once I've watched it, people go, "Have you seen it?" And I go, "I don't think so." And I sit down to watch it, and the second it starts, I go, "I've seen this before." So I'm kind of a cheap date. It's like, have I seen this before? I don't know.
Well, and a lot of times, me and my friends, we communicate solely through movie quotes. So,
Yeah. And see, I can't. Dr. Domain has made comments to me before where he'll go, "Oh, remember this, this saying," or he'll say it, he'll have some silly saying. And then he'll go, "Do you remember that in that movie, whatever that movie was, and he'll name it." I'm like, how do you remember lines? What?
They're classic movies. They're lines that everyone knows.
But I just don't remember any lines at all, and he's like,
Make My Day. You don't know what movie that was?
I remember Clint Eastwood.
Okay. See, you remember some of it.
Who was that? Dirty Harry?
Yeah.
Okay. But
Or the other one.
the other one,
I'm so hungry I could eat the ass end out of a dead rhino.
I don't know what
That's
that
a
is.
classic line.
What movie is that?
Point Break.
Never saw it.
Or Break. Yeah, Point Break, I think is what it's called.
Never,
Point Break.
never even
Yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah.
See, I'm
On all
so-
the good westerns, there are all a lot of good lines. You got to pull your pistol or whistle Dixie. All the good lines are in.
Is that like John Wayne or something?
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
I thought his was like, what was it? Well, cowboy.
Okay,
I don't even.
That's like,
That's as far as I can go. That's as far as I've got.
How about, do you have any of the, like Chris Farley movies? Like, my favorite one is Tommy Boy.
Never saw it.
What?
I know. I wanted to, but I never saw it. I know you're right now. Bobby is like on the floor, rubbing her eyes and kind of going crazy because she's like, my mom never saw that.
Chris Farley and David Spade, they were like the comedy duo, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wanted to see it. I remember the name of it, and I remember that they were in it, but I did not
That's a
get
good
to
one,
see it.
yeah.
Was it a good one?
Yeah. Vacation's another one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
any
some
of
great
the
lines in that one
vacations.
too. Like
Yeah.
Dad says I'm the best kisser and all that.
What? See, how do you remember lines?
I don't know.
The only one I
Always-
remember
always-
was Cousin Eddie, who said "shitter's full," and he's out there dumping the motor, the campers.
Speaking of, our shitter's full. You do not want to go in there.
Was that something that we're taking off tomorrow for Tybee Island and going on down south to Florida and for a little bit? And we were talking about that today because we're taking the motor home. Anyway, I digress. Bridesmaids.
Oh, I love that movie.
I mean, that was really funny.
Melissa McCartney is one of my favorite, or McCarthy. She's freaking amazing.
She is. And I mean, I don't know anybody that, she's just consistent, right?
Yeah.
Did you say Airplane?
No, I did. That is a good one. That's like, I think the number one online that people have said is the top comedy movie of all time.
Yeah, Airplane was a classic. We can start the show back up again.
Yeah. Okay, so what's one more that you think everyone would know? Even me. Funny?
Super Troopers.
Three Stooges.
Oh, I love the Three Stooges. I have all their episodes.
Three Stooges. Harry Curly Moe. The last name was Fine. Dr. Fine? Who was the other one?
Dr. Howard.
Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. Yeah. We watched a lot of Three Stooges. Bobby's dad was a big Stooges fan, every time you turned around, we were watching some movie, or he had T-shirts, and it was crazy. He was a big Stooges
I love
fan.
the lawyers, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Yeah, yeah, which sounds about right too, doesn't it? One
But
more.
yeah, so did you hear what I said? The Super Troopers. You've seen that?
Is that the one? And Dr. Domain is shaking his head. Yes. Is that the one where they wear real short shorts? The cops were. And
No.
No. Okay.
You're thinking of Reno 911. That's a TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I can't keep a movie different from a show. Anyway.
Yeah.
So one more, Dr. Domain. One more.
Some of the Robin Williams movies were pretty good.
Yeah.
But he had some serious ones too.
He did.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm thinking of skits and short movies and stuff like that. But
yeah.
You're probably thinking of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all the Monty Python ones were good.
Home Alone was good.
Yeah.
Christmas Story. Home Alone. Oh,
what was
with
Bobby?
that.
What was the Mel Brooks? No, it wasn't Mel. It was Monty Python, where the big guy goes into the restaurant and a huge fat guy, and the waiter's trying to convince him, just one more. It's waffle thin.
See, I can't remember lines.
How you feeling, sir? Better get a bucket. He starts throwing up everywhere. I love those.
Yeah, it was just one more bite. I think it was The Meaning of Life.
So I mentioned earlier the Christmas Story. I made the kids every year sit down and watch 3 movies, which was at Christmas. So it was a Christmas Story,
Miracle
A Wonderful
on,
Life, A Wonderful Life, and then Miracle on, what is it, 42nd Street or 32nd?
Yeah.
34th Street or whatever. Anyway, they had to watch those, but it was fun. But I think with Ralphie and his dad and mom, I think they were just funny, super funny.
That was pretty classic.
And some of the stuff that they did, I think back of, we stuck our tongues on poles in the wintertime, and
oh yeah,
we did stupid stuff like that too. And you just see anticipation that this poor kid had to get his, what was it? His Red Ryder gun.
BB gun.
Yeah. So anyway.
You're going to shoot your eye out.
That's right. You're going to get an eye out, kid. And then the Santa scene. Yeah, that was cool too.
Now, my favorite of that was Ralphie's little brother had that snowsuit.
Oh,
that he
yeah.
couldn't bend his arms or legs in.
He looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Yeah, the kid couldn't, and then he had to go to the bathroom. So, well, I hope this brought back some memories for people, and they think about the laughter and the fun that they've had at the movies or watching movies. And I think that's probably all that we're going to have today, Bobbi, other than I have noticed that our base for our followers base and listeners base continues to increase, and we are so happy. We appreciate everybody, but that's all I've got today.
Yep, and that seems to be all the insanity that we have for today. We do appreciate you joining us here at the Rabbit Run studio. Be sure to follow us because we look forward to spending time with you each and every week. Please like us. If you have positive feedback or if there's a topic you'd like to talk about, drop us a short email at boomerandgenxer@gmail.com or head on over to our Facebook page, Boomer and a Gen Xer Walk Into a Bar. If you have hate mail, well, you know where you can put that. So until next week, I'm Bobbi Joy.
And I'm Jane Burt, and you're stuck with us.
Peace
out.
Later.